This is for V3 fights Saturday, June 15th, Hill versus Willis at Minglewood Hall in Memphis, Tennessee. Doors open at 6 o'clock, 7. We've got the main and co-main event on the line as we speak. We also have Rod Galvin, V3 Fights Public Relations. He's got questions, guys, from different media outlets, and he's also got some fan questions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pass it over to Rod. Rod's going to ask questions. He's going to ask you individually. So everybody let the person answer, and we'll go from there. Thank you, guys.
First question, the media question, Jesse. They want to know what went on after the fight, after you won that interim belt. What was the whole crap about?
What went on afterwards?
Yes.
Basically, I won the belt and trying to celebrate, and Hunter came in and ruined my celebration. But it's all right, though. It is what it is.
Hunter, do you see it that way?
I was called up to the cage after he won, and as soon as I got up there, he decided to put his face all up in my face, and as soon as he touched me, he touched him. So that's pretty much all that went down.
You guys were former teammates before, and a lot of people want to know what went on in those training sessions. Who got the better of who? I'll let Jesse go first.
It was even, man. Basically, he hit me, I hit him. He never tapped me out. As far as I'm concerned, he can't knock me out. He's weak. But we'll see Saturday night, man. I'm ready to throw down.
Hunter, how do you see it?
Man, we'll just see what happens Saturday night.
Jesse, why did you leave that gym? How come you went back to Ronin?
I mean, I'm not going to, tell everything why I left the gym, but, I left the gym for multiple reasons, but, I mean, it just wasn't for me, man. I've been around Chip. I've been around Chip and all these guys for 5 years, and I know them, and I know how they train, and I know how they train their fighters, and I feel more comfortable over there, and Chip's a good guy, and a damn good black belt as that goes, and, I'm, my training going well, and wait till June 15th, man.
This next question is for Tyler. Tyler, your thoughts on being the champ and finishing an opponent in 7 seconds, setting a new B3 record. You broke Trip Carter's record of 8 seconds. Some people are still considering you the underdog in this fight, and they're picking Jaleel to win. How do you feel about that?
Man, I'm just going to be honest with you about it. Jaleel, what is he, 7-0, 8-0? I mean, he's undefeated. He's dominated the hell out of everybody he's fought. Everybody's afraid to fight him. I mean, wrestlers generally get picked over strikers just on the fact that people think that a striker will be taken down and held down the whole time. So on paper, I could see where people would totally underestimate me. I've been underestimated for as long as I can remember, so I wouldn't expect any different.
Jaleel, I interviewed you the other day, and I don't know if you took offense to it. You said, everyone's considered you a wrestler, but you're more than a wrestler. Do you consider yourself or your striking just as good as your wrestling?
Yeah, I honestly do, because my wrestling pretty good, but at the same time, I put just as much time in everything, my whole game overall, as I put into my wrestling.
Tyler's probably the toughest opponent you faced. He's definitely the best striker that you've ever faced. Are you willing to stand and trade with him if it comes down to that?
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
This next question is for a fan, and this is actually to Chan Rayson, Matchmaker. You have an interim heavyweight title fight between Meeks and Trundle. They want to know what happened to Ostrowski, and will the winner of this fight be fighting Ostrowski, or is he done with V3?
Ostrowski is still with V3. He's still amateur. A lot of people thought he went pro, but what happened with him is he had some family issues. He had another show And what we do at V3, you know, you can't hold the belt the entire year. So if you miss, you know, few shows, there's got to be an interim champ. There's too much talent out there. So Ostrowski will be on the next card, and the winner of Meeks and Trundle will get Ostrowski for the belt.
Tyler mentioned some dominant wrestling earlier with Jaleel. Hunter, you were teammates with Jaleel at White Station High School. You know, you're top-notch wrestler. Jesse, how do you plan on handling his wrestling in that fight?
You talking to me?
What's that?
Yes, the question I think he did ask Jesse. How are you going to handle Hunter's wrestling?
Man, I've been working on my wrestling defense, my spalls, you know, taking it back, everything, man. Yeah, Hunter's a good wrestler, man, but I think that's all he has. He has no knockout power, and he obviously has no jiu-jitsu. And I got damn good jiu-jitsu. I mean, I got 7 arm bars off my back in a triangle. I don't see wrestling doing nothing to me, man. I mean, I plan on knocking him out, to be honest with you. I've been working on my stand-up for a while now with Torian Whitlow, Curtis Tate, you know, all these Muay Thai boxing guys, man. You know, it's going to go down June 15th, man. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for April 6th, man. Apparently he had mono. He backed out week 4, and he was there at the show, ruined my celebration. Whether he had mono or not, or if he was scared, I don't know. It doesn't matter. June 15th is going down, man. So it'll be a good fight for sure.
Hunter, how are you going to respond to that? I mean, you know, he's dangerous off his back. We've seen him knock people out in the V3 cage. You know, he's talking about you backing out last fight. How do you respond to all those things you just said?
Man, it doesn't really matter to me. Had a really good camp, had a really good weight cut. I'm feeling great. I'm eating anything I want right now. You know, I'm walking around about 5 pounds over, 6 pounds over. Feel great. Just ready to go perform and go enjoy life a little bit after the fight and get back to training. And all it's really about for me right now.
Tyler, I guess you're in the same situation as Jesse Parker, fighting a wrestler. How do you plan on handling his wrestling? How do you simulate that in training?
Man, I actually train at a jiu-jitsu gym. A lot of people don't know that. I'm actually sitting next to my coach right now, Jay McIntosh, who's been wrestling most of his life and is a purple belt, a very legit purple belt at that, affiliated under Jarrett Bex, who is under Israel Gomez, who is Anderson Silva's head instructor, or was for a long time. I also have a teammate that I work with almost daily who is a wrestler from Indiana that wrestled collegiately. I'm going to say the same thing I said on Facebook, which I meant in respect to Jaleel. I wasn't trying to talk any trash. It was taken that way. That's not my style. But it makes me giggle how underestimated my grappling is. I work my grappling so hard every day that I just don't. It offends me that people downplay it, but I understand. In my fights, I haven't showed anything. I watch my fights and they embarrass me. When people come to the bar I work at, they want to talk about my fights, and then somebody pulls out their iPhone, and next thing I know, I'm watching some video of me knocking some dude out. And it's embarrassing to me because I haven't shown any of the skills I feel I really have. At this point, I'm in here. I want to win this fight in spectacular fashion. Now, however that comes, that the story will tell. Jaleel is a game opponent. I will never deny that. The dude is very good. He's very strong. But I have teammates that are as good, if not better, I feel. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that constructively. I know Jaleel has great teammates. I'm very close to several of his teammates, and everybody in there is game. Adam Denton, man, that guy is so tough. When we stood and sparred, there's no doubt to me that Jaleel has a teammate that he can spar with every day that is giving him the work he needs. But equally, I will say I have teammates that are giving me the work I need on the ground.
All right, this one's for Chan. He mentioned, Tyler just mentioned Adam Denton. We talked about Trundle earlier. You got Jaleel. We have Hunter on here. We also have Justin Edwards. Now, you got 5 Memphis BJJ guys going for titles. Is that just coincidence, or how did that come about?
Well, when you make these fight cards, they come about in all kinds of different areas. Jaleel was obviously set with Tyler. It just so happened that Jaleel, no matter what gym you're at, it gives you no leverage when getting on a V3 card. As many know, it's the best versus the best. It just so happens to be that 4 or 5 you said of the best guys for the title happen to be from the same gym. Jaleel is obviously the number 1 contender at 155. Now there's a fight on this card nobody else is talking about that they need to get a lot of attention to, and that's between Mark Jones and Eli McLaughlin. I don't know exactly what Jaleel and Tyler are going to do after this fight, win or lose, but I do know the winner of the Mark Jones-Eli McLaughlin fight will get the title shot next. So pay attention to that fight. And also back to Memphis BJJ, Hunter Joffrey's the champ. That's why he's on there. Jaleel Willis, number 1 contender. You got Adam Denton, obviously number 1 contender at 145 for a long time. We're finally getting him a title shot. And then you throw in Justin Edwards. They had another guy from their gym, Michael Bunch, but that didn't pan out. And Justin Edwards happened to be the next best thing. So truly no favoritism to any gym. It just happens to be on this card. The four of the best guys fighting for titles are from the same gym. So it just says a lot about Dave Ferguson and all the coaches he has over there at Memphis BJJ.
Julio, this question is from you, from the media. You have great wrestling. You show great knockout power in your last fight. However, it's the first time you're headlining a card. This is your first main event. How does that feel to be in the main event, and how do you feel on handling that? I mean, is there any extra pressure for you in this one, being your first time main event, and Tyler's already fought in the main event?
No, there's no pressure on me at all. I mean, I still see it as the same way stuff went down when I had wrestling matches back in the day. Like, I've been main events before. I didn't have to sit and watch my team go, sit and watch everybody go, but I don't think that do it for me. That makes me more comfortable. That opened up my eyes a little bit. Let me see where I would do it if I was in that situation, where this dude did wrong, And then if I go out and see my teammates dominate, that's going to motivate me even hard. We just going to do it, and I'm just going to go out there and do it. And it's all just comfortable for me, man. It's just to the point to where, like, I know I've been training good. I know everything been straight. I know I'm going to go out there and give my all. And, he going to have a tough time, taking me out if that's, what's going to happen. But I know I'm coming in there with everything I got, and I ain't holding nothing back. That's all it is to it.
Jesse, you made a point in your interview before that you guys don't do fake jiu-jitsu at Ronin. What did you mean by that?
We don't do no sports jiu-jitsu naga bullshit. So, we don't. We train to where if we get in a fight on the street, we're gonna kill somebody, man. We don't do that sports jiu-jitsu shit. So, it is what it is, man.
All right. Honey, you have any answer for that?
I guess that's cool and all, but we have some of the best black belts and the best brown belts and the best purple belts even, and some of the best blue belts. Actually, we have world champion blue belts even over at our gym. Memphis Jiu-Jitsu is a world-class jiu-jitsu gym.
Only in Naga. When you get an MMA fight, dude, you're going to get your ass whooped, man.
All right, man. Well, anyways, we got Joel Dingery, and we got Marco Silva, Alex Meadows, Tyler Stepp. I trained my jiu-jitsu with them, and I feel really confident. A handful of other guys. I trained my wrestling with Jalil a lot, and Brian Hall. Brian Hall's previously beat Jesse. Me and Jesse both know how training went down, and Saturday night it's going to happen, and we'll see how it goes. So, yep.
All right. Now you talked about you and Jesse training. I know Tyler has been over to Memphis BJJ before. He's, friends with those guys. Tyler, Jaleel, this is a question for both of you guys. Have you guys ever had a chance to roll or spar against one another in this cross-training sessions? Either one, go ahead.
Jaleel, you can go first. What was the question again?
I know Tyler. Tyler said he has mad respect for the Memphis BJJ guys. He's actually cross-trained there before. Have you ever had the chance and an opportunity to spar or roll with Tyler before?
Yeah, we did, yeah. But well, what's the question? Like, what you want to talk about it? I don't really think there's anything.
How did those sessions go? Did you guys, obviously, when you take a fight, you always take a fight you feel you can win. You guys know what happened in those training sessions. Do you guys, how did those training sessions go? You guys feel confident going into this fight based on what happened in those training sessions?
Yeah, I took this fight because, this is what I signed up for, to fight the best. And so I can prove that I'm, up there with the best. And, this is my dream. This is what I want to do, I've always just, nothing thrills me more than just, the challenge. And, I'm just, I don't know, it's killing me that I got to wait almost 3 days to, get to go inside there and prove it.
And I think Jaleel said it almost the same way I would. Me and Jaleel sat in El Toro Loco about a year and a half ago and talked for a while, and we're good friends. And I told everybody I was friends with him. And I'm not a big fan of fighting my friends, but Jaleel is the best 155er in this portion of the country. They're, under me besides that. And he's earned it, so that's what I want. I fought Wade Johnson because he was the best. I did lose that fight, but so much has changed since our training session that we had. So much has changed since that fight. When I trained with Jaleel, I was 160-something pounds. That was my normal walk-around weight. Put on a lot of weight since then. I made a lot of life changes. A lot of things have changed in my life. This is what I get up for every single day. Every single day of my life, I wake up, and I get up, and I take all my supplements and my vitamins, and I eat my healthy breakfast, and I go for my run, and I cut my weight, and then I go to my four sessions at the gym every night. Weeks ago, about a week ago or however long ago it was in the camp, I was getting my conditioning training. So that's 3 times a day. I'm treating this like it's, I'm not even just treating it like that. My life depends on this at this point. And I think I'm not taking anything away from Jaleel. I know Jaleel also is looking to do this for his profession. So I think that this will make quite a show. But I dropped out of school. I'm 2 semesters away from a mechanical engineering degree. I've already worked 2 years in engineering field. All that money's gone. I can't even afford school anymore. And instead of pouting about it, I got my ass up and I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the UFC. I have no intentions of stopping until I'm there. And I don't give a shit what it takes. I want the best. After this fight, I want another killer. I don't want to fight any slouches. I want to show people nobody is giving me a chance in this fight, and I love it. I wake up so fired up every day. My trainer is so tired of getting text messages from me saying, hey, man, can we train? Hey, man, can we ice bath? Hey, man, can we sauna? Every single day. I sit in my living room, and I can't even sleep. I rock back and forth, and I just fight down as hard as I can because I want this so bad I can't sleep anymore.
Jaleel, we all know what happened in your first MMA fight. You came out of the crowd. It was actually on Chan's show. Can you believe that, a year and a half, 2 years later, you're in a V3 main event? Talk about that.
Man, hey, I still say thank you, Chan. I never get to say that. Hey, that was just so right, because I remember I was in there and I was talking to Rod about man, I wanna fight, and complications going on. I can't, and it walked right up to me and keep me right in the face, hey, you wanna fight? Let's fight, man. Hey, they hooked me up, and I'm just ready. That just felt amazing. Lets me know that I was either gonna learn the complete good lesson that day. And the lesson was man, I'm really taken to this sport, and I want to go far with it. I love it just as much as I love wrestling.
Chan here, just to touch base on what Jaleel said, just in case anybody doesn't understand that's listening to this. what the question was asking how it's been a 360 since his first fight. Jalil's first fight was actually at a small Delta Fair show I did a few years ago, and I had an opponent, the main event guy for like a 170 or something, backed out. It was the opponent was 7-1. He was a beast wrestler. He was a talented guy. His opponent was a no-show. Well, I had to find somebody on the fly. I see this little buff guy in the corner. I walk up to him, ask him if he fight. He goes, "Nah, man, but I'd love to. You know, I train, I wrestle." So I'm like, "Would you want to fight tonight?" I felt bad doing it. I thought I was throwing a scrub in there. And this fool goes home. Jalil Willis is the fool I speak of. He goes home. He gets his shorts and mouthpiece. He's back an hour later. He's in the cage, fights this guy that's been training for this fight forever, and dominates him for 3 rounds. And, of course, that was Jalil's first fight. Here we are 8 fight later, main event for V3 fights, possibly his last amateur fight. So, yeah, it's a pretty crazy story how it all, you know, it's definitely one of those, man, maybe this is meant to be moments. So when Jalil is in the UFC, I'll definitely be sitting on my couch saying, "Hey, you want to hear how he got his first fight?"
Chan, what are you gonna say? Chan, what are you gonna say when I'm sitting in the UFC?
That's a crazy motherfucker. That guy never up. That guy never quit. You know, if you have a dream and you believe in it, and you put, you know, that right there is a prime example of, you know, you set your mind to something, you can do it. Because that kid went from nothing, and now look at him. That's exactly what I'll say.
So would you say that you believe I will do it?
We'll do what? I believe any 4 guys on this phone have the potential to make the UFC. We're all amateurs right now. I will say this about all 4 guys that are on this conference call. These all 4 are very talented MMA fighters, and every single one of them, I would put money down that I would see at the next level. That's because they're amateurs fighting the best amateurs, and that's what it's supposed to be. That's what V3 Fights is. It's the best fighter versus the best fighter. I'm tired of these promotions putting scrub versus scrub, and these amateurs walking around fighting nobody. If you want to make it to that level and you want to do this sport, do it right, and all 4 guys that are on this press conference call are doing it right.
Speaking of badass fighters, you know, you said all 4 of these guys will make it in the UFC, but we have a young lady on this card by the name of Jamie Milanowski, Lil Cannon. Awesome wrestling credentials, awesome boxer. There was some hype on Facebook, or some trash talking, I should say, you know, with her and the flyweight champion Amberlyn Orr. You know, Jamie's fighting for the bantamweight title. Talk a little bit about Jamie Milanowski and what went on, and just her credentials and just her in general.
Well, here's the deal with Jamie. I've heard a lot about Jamie. I've been trying to get her for years, actually. She's not just some girl popping out of nowhere with a 2-0, 3-0 record. I've been trying to work it out. She had some injuries. Well, the women's division has taken off in MMA in general. Our champ, our main girl right now, Amberlyn Orr. She's the best. She was the first girl to fight for us. She was the first one to win the belt. She's a beast. She eats, breathes, sleeps MMA. And I love Amberlyn. Amberlyn was set. There's no one to fight her. Jamie Milanowski sees her last fight. Her coach begged me for it, saying she'll smoke, you know, and Amber wants the best. But it's hard to fight the best when they're only got a 2-0 record. People look at records only. And that's not the way it should be done at the amateur level. But they accepted the fight. Then something happened. Amberlyn's got an illness. Something happened. Amber had to withdraw from the fight. I did a little manhunt. It's usually not hard for me to find people to jump in a V3 title fight. I did a manhunt, a woman hunt, should I say, and I hit up every girl from Florida to Delaware to California, any top-level MMA girl. And they all said, "Oh, yeah, 2-0, 3-0 girl, I'll do it. Let me look into her." Then they all hit me back with no. So I had to do some recon on my own, and then that's when I came to find out Jamie Milanowski was a state championship wrestler in high school. She's won Golden Gloves several times. The girl's just an all-around beast. Everyone looks at her record, and they think, okay, 3-0, amateur fighter, not nothing. I've looked into her stats. I've looked into her credentials. She is a beast. She will be fighting for a 135 vacant division, and as far as I know, when Amberlyn gets healthy and she gets back, Jamie Lynn wants a piece of her, and Alo wants the same. So don't put her past Shervonda, but if she pulls off the victory as Jamie wins this Saturday, she will be fighting Amberlyn for the 125 title in the future. She wants it. Amberlyn wants it. Why not have a girl fight?
What about Hannah Rogers? She won that fight. She looked pretty impressive. If Jamie wins or Shervonda, do you see the fight happening with Hannah Rogers, or is she planning on going up to featherweight?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Hannah. We'll see. You know, she's got a broke hand right now. She'll either go to 45 or 35. But right now, Hannah's a story for a different day. I just want to talk about these 4 guys and their big fight coming up in 3 days? Yeah, let's just talk about these 4.
All right. Hunter and Jesse. Jesse, I talked to you the other day. We had to stop the camera a couple of times, but you did make a mention that you are the real V3 flyweight champion. Do you believe that? And Hunter, when he's done, how you respond to him? Go ahead, Jesse.
Man, I do believe that, man, because, you know, we're supposed to fight April 6th, you know. He backed out supposedly because of mono or whatever. I know I could beat Hunter. Hunter's 4-0, and, yeah, he's 4-0, but he's fighting nobody. They're all set-up fights. You get easy wins. I have 16 fights. I'm 12-4, dude. I mean, apparently I'm the underdog in this fight. How I'm the underdog, I don't know. But, yeah, I do believe I'm the real V3 flyweight champion, you know. But come June 15th or Saturday night, rather, I will be walking out of that cage with the belt, and that's the damn truth right there, man.
Hunter, how do you respond to that?
It's whatever, man. The belt doesn't really mean anything to me. It's just a status, man. It's just one fight at a time. I just want to work on staying composed for this fight. Every fight I try to work for something new. And this fight, I feel so comfortable that it almost makes me uncomfortable in the back of my mind just because I trained so hard and my diet went so incredibly well. And, you know, just the goal for this fight is staying composed and doing the job, and it's just another fight, you know. So I'm ready to go take care of it, man, and have a good night with the V2 crew.
Are we going to need some extra security at the weigh-ins for you two? Do you think that, or you guys seem pretty cool about it? Are we probably going to expect another replay that happens?
We can't expect what these guys are going to do. Let's not let these guys say what they're going to do. We've already got enough people thinking that you guys really are best friends. You'd be surprised how many messages I get thinking that we've turned into the WWE. Look, I just throw the best fights on the card. Whatever these guys do, they're grown men. They do it between their, you know, that's up to them. So let's see how their emotions do, and it'll all be natural. I do know that we will have security there. Both of the fighters are very aware if anything does get unprofessional at weigh-ins. You know, there can be repercussion. Both of these guys were at our show in Nashville. They're going to be civil. You know, these guys are both martial artists. They're both here to fight. They just don't like each other. You know, that's it. And come Saturday night, Minglewood Hall, 7 o'clock is the first fight. You got these two guys that hate each other going at it, and you got two of the best fighters in the entire Mid-South at the amateur level going at it for the 155. So regardless what happens at weigh-ins, which are Friday night at Club 152 at 7 o'clock, which will be very interesting because we have several other grudge matches on this card. But regardless of what happens, you will see at the co-main event and main event, you will see two awesome fights. But we're going to close this off. Rod, do you have any last question for any of these guys so I can get them back to training?
No, I was going to give each one an opportunity for some last comments, and if there's anything you want to say to your opponent while we have them on the line. And Tyler, you go first.
Man, I really have said about everything I want to say. I'm ready to get back to training today. I'm sitting in front of my gym on a tractor tire.
All right, Julio?
Peace be with you.
Jesse Parker.
Man, I said everything about what I want to say, man. Just good luck to Hunter, man, and I'll see him Friday night, man.
Hunter Joffrey.
I want to give a shout-out to Memphis Judo and Jiu-Jitsu, my MMA coaches, Jason McDonald and Nathan Payne. I want to give a shout-out to my Jiu-Jitsu coaches, Joel Gingrich, Alex Meadows, everybody in the whole Jiu-Jitsu program, you know. And give a shout-out to Kuntz Chiropractic for anybody in Memphis, Tennessee with back problems, and Jennifer Stamey. If you need any work done, physical therapy of any kind, or sports, anything, she's the lady to get to, and that's all.
Hey, guys, before we get out of here real quick, I got 3 questions real quick that these fans, I'm getting messages on Facebook, they really want to know. It's returning to the Hunter and Jesse fight. 3 quick questions, yes or no answers. Hunter, I guess I'll ask you. They want to know, will you guys, especially after what happened with Jesse's last fight, will you guys touch gloves before you fight, yes or no?
I don't really like to touch gloves, but when we meet up, that's fine with me. it's whatever. But once the round starts, I don't intend on touching gloves.
Okay.
Okay,
so you need to ask Jesse because there will be no gloves touch there. Also, they want to know your last fight, Hunter. A lot of people talk about how you let chance. You fight with a lot of emotion. Both of you do. Jesse shows a lot of emotion before the fight, and he's pretty calm and technical during the fight. You show a lot of emotion. Usually, you're very intense. You're very aggressive before the fight and during it. Now you seem really calm. I don't know if that is good or bad for you. However, do you feel in the fight you'll do anything crazy like your fight with Chance Williams where you stuck your chin out and let him hit you? With Jesse's power, is that something the fans would see from you again?
It has nothing to do with Jesse's power, but this fight's about composure for me, and that's not letting my emotions get the best of me, and just fighting like I do in the gym. My goal is to be calm. This isn't a love-hate thing. It's just a MMA bout. It's just a wrestling match in my eyes.
Awesome. With that being said, as the last question for you two, when the fight is over, will this whole hate be over? Will you shake hands regardless of how it ends, or will there be one man walking out angry? Go ahead first, Hunter.
I don't hate this guy. I think someone's told him some things, and he decided to believe it or whatever. I don't hate him. I don't blame him for it, but I don't think he'll be too upset after the fight.
Jesse, will you be shaking his hand after the fight, win or lose?
Sure, why not, man? It's just another fight, man. He's in my way getting a belt and in my way of, other possibilities of going pro and all that other stuff. So it is what it is, man. And made a best man win, Saturday night.
All right, awesome, guys. Hey, Rod with V3 PR, thank you for your questions. Thank you for the fans. Jaleel, Tyler's coach, Jay, Hunter, and Jesse, thank you all very much. And for everyone, we will see you Saturday night, Minglewood Hall. Doors open at 6, first fight at 7. Be there. This will be an awesome night. Thanks, guys.